Hey, Mahal everyone, welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I'm your host 40 and we are back with another video on the global version of Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the next upcoming character event, which is going to be featuring Final Fantasy X's Seymour Guado. Now, this event is going to be pretty cool because he's going to be accessible as our very first villain character that we can actually use in our party and play with. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So, the new character story event is going to be called the Spirit of Salvation. So just like with any other character event, Seymour is going to be unlockable after clearing the Conversation stage upon clearing event stage 1. We're going to be rewarded with Seymour's exclusive 35 CP 5-star gear, which is called the Ceremonial Ghoul of Salvation. And this is upon clearing stages 3 and 5. And remember, you can only receive up to 2 copies of this. So, you know, if you want to maximum break it, you could definitely go into the guard metal shop to be able to get this. And Seymour himself is a magical attacker that specializes in dealing damage more to debuffed enemies. So that's going to be the type of character that he is. So going on with the type of character that he is, Seymour, again, as mentioned earlier, is a magic attacker and debuffer. The crystals that he's affiliated with is light. His speed tier from playing around with him from JP is around medium or slow. His stats are pretty good. The only stat that's kind of low is his HP and defense, so he's kind of like Shantoto, where she's a little bit squishy, but she deals a lot of offensive damage, so I just want to keep that in mind. He has 2 abilities. The first one is Chain Spell. So Chain Spell is a 2-hit magic brave attack. It deals more damage if the target is debuffed, and it has a low action delay. So that's pretty good because when you use Chain Spell, there's a high chance that Seymour can act again or act a lot sooner. His second ability is Lance of Atrophy, which is a 2-hit magic brave plus HP attack, so he has a hybrid attack. This one inflicts small max brave down, small attack down, and small defense down for 3 turns, and it also deals more damage if the target is debuffed. So pretty cool, very nice character. I can see him definitely being useful, for example, for the Lost Chapters Vanille level 90 event, because those Berserk armors resist physical attacks, so Seymour is going to be your guy to go for that. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at his passive. So upon looking at his passives, the ones that I really like the most, I feel like you guys should be focusing on is debuff attack up, because that one, it increases his attack whenever an enemy is debuffed. And because he gets stronger, he deals more damage when an enemy is debuffed. This is something that you want to use. Chain Spell power up and Lance of Atrophy power up are always good because it increases the amount of brave damage that those 2 abilities deal. Alongside that, Chain Spell and Lance of Atrophy charge is good because it allows us a +1 usage to those abilities. And then Break Speed Up and Lance of Brave Speed Up are also good because Seymour is given a way to be able to manipulate his own speed. So that's pretty nice that he could do that. His final crystal passive is level 50 passive, which is Blessing of Anima. It increases his initial brave and max brave and attack power and defense when his HP is below 50%. For a cost of 20, normally this wouldn't be something that you would want to equip on him. However, now that we have Lost Chapters, and with Lost Chapters, especially with the level 90 stages, it's inevitable that you're going to be eating HP damage. So if you have Seymour on your team, this is probably a passive that you do want to give him specifically for level 90 Lost Chapter events. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at his artifact passive. So he has debuff guard up 1-star and 2-star, where his defense goes up by a certain percentage when an enemy is debuffed. Not bad, but essentially defense is kind of like the stat that is very least prioritized compared to every other stat. So if you happen to roll it, nice. If you have some better passives already and you roll it, might want to pass on it. Break Boost 1-star and 2-star. He increases his max brave by 2% or 5% for 1 turn after breaking an enemy. Again, situational. I feel like that this one is not really going to be needed, but if you happen to roll it and you don't have any other good passives, well then there you go. And then Chain Spell, power up 1-star, 2-star, and Lance of Atrophy 1-star, 2-star increases the brave damage dealt by his specific ability. So that's always going to be good. My recommendation is go for 1 Chain Spell 2-star and then 2 Lance of Atrophy 2-star. Personally, that's how I would build them up, but you know, definitely build them up however you guys feel like you want to build them up. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the juicy details of the banner that's going to be available for the Seymour event. So the banner is going to be featuring Seymour along with his 15 CP and 35 CP. It's going to be featuring Terra, so Terra is making a comeback with her 15 CP and 35 CP. And it's going to feature my all-time favorite Final Fantasy character, Shantoto. However, unfortunately, as much as I don't want to say this, the only weapon that's going to be featured is her 15 CP, unless, of course, Square decides to change it up and give us her 35 CP, but I doubt it. I feel like they're going to keep this one how it was in the JP version. So, Seymour's 5-star 35 CP is called Great Soul Staff. This one increases Lance of Atrophy's potency and the debuffs inflicted by the ability. We also have access now in this banner to his 5-star 15 CP, which is called Seymour's Staff. It increases Chain Spell's potency and lowers its action delay even further. And on top of that, it grants Seymour a small Brave up for 4 turns. We're also going to have access to his 4-star 20 CP Seymour's Robe, which is his 4-star armor that gives him defense plus 84. I'm really finding it interesting that the characters from Ramza and beyond don't have a base 4-star weapon. Who knows what's up with that, but yeah, Seymour falls into that category. And then we're also going to have access to Terra's 5-star 35 CP Enhancer. This one increases her Meteor Plus's potency and extends the attack up and the speed buff that ability provides. And we're also going to be able to roll for her 5-star 15 CP Falchion and Shantoto's 5-star 15 CP Rune Staff. Now there's also going to be other weapons featured here for the other characters. The only reason I didn't mention them is because we're already aware of them, and with these banners I only want to mention what's going to be new, what's going to be highlighted. So those are going to be the weapons and armor that we can get to pull for. Now we're also going to be having a chance to obtain their 5-star 35 CP armor. Now Terra's is already in the Guard Metal shop. However, the new ones that we're going to get is Seymour's Ceremonial Gown of Salvation and Shantoto's Sorcerer's Coat. So those are the stats right there. So if you guys want to use your Guard Metals on them, definitely give it a go. Now, the boss that we're going to be facing for the Seymour event is going to be called the Night Behemoth. So this boss is going to be fitting into the Behemoth family. If you're familiar with that type of enemy, not really too much that you have to be aware of, but I did mention some key things that you want to know, so that way you're prepared when you tackle it. So the Night Behemoth has a chase HP value of 40, just like every other Behemoth boss, and he is also weak this time to lightning and wind. Roar and Mighty Roar are both abilities that buff himself. It grants him Brave and also increases his max Brave. And Mighty Roar also grants him a resistance to physical damage, and that's only available in the level 70. So essentially the co-op is when he does that. Thunderbolt is his group Brave magic attack with a high turn rate, so just be aware of that. He also has a single target Brave attack called Combo Rush, which is a melee Brave attack that inflicts speed down, something you want to be aware of because it does debuff your speed. And then he also has another attack called Energy Flare, which is a group magic Brave plus HP attack with a high turn rate. So it's a hybrid attack with a high turn rate, and the level 70 version of this hits harder. So just make sure to keep that in mind. I don't really foresee this boss being too difficult. I don't foresee it definitely being difficult compared to the current one for the Ace event. So, you know, if you guys are familiar with the way that the Behemoth enemies attack and the way that they behave, this boss should be pretty easy peasy, especially for those veteran players that have been playing since the beginning. Alright, so some tips before entering the Seymour event. Farm those light crystals, especially once you unlock him, so that way you can unlock as many crystal passes for him as possible. Utilize synergy characters as long as you have them built up, such as Terra and Shantoto, alongside Seymour, further increase stats during this event. And one thing I forgot to mention is that for the level 70 co-op, when the boss does Mighty Roar, he gets that resistance to physical attacks, but Seymour, Terra, and Shantoto use magical attacks, so that's probably why it's definitely ideal to use them for the co-op especially. Now, if you don't want to use them, we also have Prish, Vincent, Zell, Edge, and Vaughn that have abilities with elements that the boss is weak to. So remember, the boss is weak to lightning and wind, and all of those characters have either one or two of those elements imbued in them. And then the sum of choice depends on what you're doing. So for single player, definitely go with Ifrit, Ramu, and Sylph. And then if you're going to do co-op, since a lot of people are definitely going to be trying to manipulate Chase and trying to clear this co-op event as fast as they can, use Chocobo and Sylph because they're a lot easier and much faster to summon. Now, following this discussion, I'm going to show you guys gameplay with my JP account, so that way you guys have a visual of what to at least expect for the upcoming Seymour event. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright guys, so following that discussion, we're going to go ahead and tackle the Seymour event. Now keep in mind this is coming from footage from my JP account, so there are going to be some things, again, like I always say, that you're not going to be seeing upon the release of this event. The only reason why I show you guys JP footage for these events is because it's giving you guys a visual of kind of what to expect. So I'm going to be taking the Synergy Party, which is Seymour, Terra, and Shantoto. The summon I'm going to be taking is Ramu, only because I know that this boss is weak to lightning. Right. And then we're going to be taking, let's see, we're going to take a Vaughn friend. And we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. Now, because, you know, we have a level 60 Terra on this JP account, this is probably not going to look too difficult. And honestly, even without Terra's level 60, this particular event is not going to be, like, it's not going to be as challenging, definitely, as, like, Lost Chapters, for sure. So, but I just want to show you guys gameplay, so... Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just use our regular abilities to take down these enemies. Okay, with Shentoto, I actually kind of want to use her abilities. Let's see, so we have B going... Okay, so we're going to actually use Lance of Atrophy. Nice, so that actually looks exactly like his attack when you fight him in one of the story chapters. Okay, let's see how Chain Spell looks like. Nice, so again, not in a lot of danger because this is coming from the Japanese footage. That attack actually looks really, really cool. I'm enjoying how that attack looks like. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and encounter the boss for this event, which is the Night Behemoth. Again, I really don't foresee this boss being too difficult with the current content that's out for Global. But yeah, as long as you're familiar with the Behemoth itself, it's not going to be too bad. Let's go ahead and just Lance of Atrophy. Get some debuffs on the enemy. Let's go ahead and get Dark Magic Bio. Oh, we didn't get the poison, that's fine. And let's use Meteor Plus. I really like how Terra gets these crazy enhancements later on. It just makes her so OP. Let's try to get that poison off. Oh, wait a minute. That was Terra's turn, not Shentoto. Okay, with Shentoto, we're just going to Brave Attack. Oh, he looks like he did Combo Crush where he lowers our speed, so our Shentoto speed is a little bit debuffed, but that's okay. We're going to Chain Spell. Nice. And we should be doing more damage with that because the boss is debuffed. Meltdown Plus. Let's use Lance of Atrophy again. Now let's use... I'm going to show you guys Terra's EX. So she gets this later. It deals a ton of damage. Let's see if we can actually finish off this boss with Meteor Plus. With Terra's souped up version of it. And there we go. Awesome. So that's going to be it for the video on the gameplay for the upcoming Seymour event. So hopefully you guys are going to be prepared. Be ready for the release of the very first upcoming villain that we're going to be able to play as. Also, if you guys have gems saved up, there's going to be 235 CP weapons as mentioned earlier. Seymour's and Terra's, and maybe they might even feature Shentoto. Who knows? But anyways, this is the Broadway saying. My name is 40. Stay tuned for my next video on Dissidia Opera Omnia and Mahal, everyone.